Social Security disability benefits for veterans in 2025. This is Brian Terrian here. And on this Veterans Day, I want to share with you what I am hopes is information that will help you understand the Veterans Disability Benefit System as it relates to the Social Security disability system in an effort to help you get everything that you deserve as a veteran. Now, if you're watching this and you're not a veteran, you could share it with somebody that is. But I'm going to cover in the final section of my video here today information that is applicable for anybody that is going to the doctor, first of all, and especially anybody that is either on or in need of their Social Security disability benefits. So I hope you enjoy the show. Again, my name is Brian Terry, and if you're new here, welcome here at the Disability Digest. For 2 decades, we have worked to help people get approved, stay approved. I have worked with lots of veterans, and there's certainly some nuances to the veteran system that I'm going to point out here today. Some good, some bad, that influence your ability to get your Social Security disability benefits. So who this helps is definitely somebody who is a veteran that is on benefits, because I'll help you understand how to keep them, and especially those that are like have a rating, not able to work, and are seeking their disability benefits. But first, before I get into all of the how-tos and what I'm going to cover, like I'm going to cover the differences, the challenges, the opportunities in my new segment this year. I just want to say thank you. For work that I do here and meeting individuals, men and women that I've served, and also traveling throughout the world, I just have a deep appreciation for the work that you have done to allow us to live in a place like this. So, thank you. Now, the first thing I want to cover is the differences. The difference between Social Security and the Veterans Administration rating system, because oftentimes people will come or have the mindset, oh, I'm 100% P&T and should be no problem getting my disability benefits. And that would be great. But unfortunately, that's not it. And that's in large part because the rating system is different. For veterans, it's cumulative. So you might have 10% for tinnitus, 30% for degenerative disc disease, another 20% for PTSD, so on and so forth, up to 100%. With the Social Security system, it's black or white, binary. Either you can work or you cannot work. So they use this phrase called substantial gainful activity. Like, can you still perform? So there are veterans, I've met veterans that have 100% P&T, and they're still able to, do some work, although they're not supposed to be. So it's just different in how they look at it. And that's one of the reasons that causes the challenges for veterans to get their disability benefits, even with a high rating. The other challenges that I'll sprinkle in there is veterans typically have these massive medical files. Like I've looked at some of their case files for Social Security, and they're in the 8 and the 10,000 page range. And a common disability applicant is going to have 1,500, 2,500. So if you think about it from a Social Security examiner, they have, they're underworked, pardon me, they're overworked, they're underpaid, and they have these time frames to go through these files, and they get this massive file, and it's not easy for them to understand like what to look for, the key evidence, which I'm going to share with you in a minute at the end of this. So that's another factor with getting the benefits that you deserve. Another one is the playing hurt framework that I use, which is veterans, typically combat veterans, are trained to play hurt. So that translates over to their doctoring, where they'll go to the doctor and they won't report everything, or they won't report the degree of severity. So somebody has degenerative disc disease and they're not able to sit or stand for 15 minutes, and that's a civilian version. It might not be reported that way from a veteran because they are trained differently. So reporting those limitations is important. So in addition to the record issue, there's the doctor like rotation. Oftentimes I've heard from veterans, it's like, when I go to the doctor, it's like going on a first date all the time because I get a new doctor. They don't understand me. I have to explain myself. And it's challenging to get in a good treatment groove. The last one really annoys me. And I get this from people that work on our cases that go to court here at the Disability Digest. For those that we're directly representing, you'll learn more about that in a minute. A veteran goes in, goes to a hearing, and a lot of the judges are actually ex or vets or veterans. There's no such thing as an ex-vet. And so they have this whole like, I'm up here doing my deal as a judge, and I, I'm working, and they feel that a veteran could. So they have this whole, I don't want to endorse the double dipping thing. So that is a legitimate deal. So the best way to get around that is to win your case early, which is what we teach you how to do. Win it at ideally the initial application stage. So those are some of the challenges that people have. Here's the best advice that I can give you in my 2 decades of experience for getting around this, for helping you to get approved and stay approved. And it's controlling the narrative and how you doctor and what you say and go in there. So I mentioned about clearly communicating your limitations. But what most people do when they go to the doctors is they listen, and they don't provide really the proper feedback. So what I did is I went through and gathered a list of the top 10 conditions that the Veterans Administration gives ratings for. And I'm going to give you examples of how to communicate your limitations for these. So you can modify them unless they're exactly spot on. And this is what you want to be communicating to your civilian doctors, to your VA doctors, is the limitations. So first one is tinnitus. My ringing averages on a scale of 1 low, 10 high, it's like a 7 all the time. It lasts most days all day. And I'm not able to focus for more than, 15 minutes on a task, and I can do that maybe twice a day. And so what I'm attempting to communicate to you is the increments. Rather than saying I have tinnitus and ringing of the ears and it makes it difficult to work, is the exact limitations. So I'm going to go on to a slightly different one. Hearing loss. I can hear like 60% of the conversations. The other 40% I can't hear. So what it causes me to do is I have to ask people to repeat. And oftentimes what I believe I'm understanding, I'm not understanding. So I'm not following directions. And this happens like once a day in the work environment, making it really challenging for me to perform. And it's so mentally taxing for me to work this way to do this. Like I have to go in my car and take a nap for 20 minutes every day at lunch. So what I'm sharing with you is a 60% to 20-minute naps. The challenge is working. PTSD. I have panic attacks 2 to 3 times a week. They last 15 to 30 minutes. And sometimes once a month, I have a panic attack that's so bad, it takes me like a full day to recover. I just have to go in my bedroom. I've got to lie down. I've got to get it totally dark, and I've got to reboot. So you're sharing increments. One event a month is major and it's knocking you out for a day. That's how you would communicate that. Sleep apnea. I'm waking up 5 to 6 times a night. So I'm averaging 4 to 5 hours of sleep, although I'm in bed for 8 hours. And when I wake up, I am just cognitively taxed. I'm not able to remember like a simple list of 5 things to go and get at the grocery store. Right. So you've got hours sleep, limitations, and listening. Degenerative disc disease. I reference this one a lot because it's common. For degenerative disc disease, I'm not able to stand for more than 20 minutes. I'm not able to sit for more than 15 minutes. Now, I can alternate back and forth doing that. But I only can do that twice, like in an hour. And then I've got to lie down on my back for like the rest of the hour flat so I can get myself. So if you're doing that and it's taking you half of a working hour to recover, you're you're communicating that you're not able to work. So again, modify these. Credibility is key. You want to make sure that it is in line exactly with what your situations are. Migraines. I have 8 to 10 attacks a month. They last 4 to 6 hours commonly, but I've got 2 episodes a month where I've just got to lie down in bed with it totally dark so I can reboot. Other ones like hypertension, my blood pressure spikes 170 up to 170 several times a week, causes me to be dizzy, fatigued, delirious. I'm not able to communicate. Um, so I'm just jumping around a little quickly here as I finish up the list here. There's other ones like GERD. I have reflux after most meals, 30 to 45 minutes. I'm just not comfortable. I've got to rest. I think I've been through 9 out of the 10 here, but hopefully what I've communicated to you is you want to communicate how long something lasts, how often, and how severe. So just one last example. Uh, I can stand for 15 minutes before the pain starts. I miss 3 to 4 days of activity per month. And activity could be family related activity. I need to rest twice a day for 30 minutes. So these symptoms are consistent. I've been in treatment for 2 years doing this. So that is the phrasing that you want to use. I encourage you to get this down. It's the best income insurance that you can put in place. Here at the Disability Digest, how we can help you is we offer a no-cost membership. And when you come in and you join us, you look around this video, there'll be a link to click. If you're going through the approval process, or even if you're approved, you get connected with an advocate, like a live person. And what they're going to do is you're going to discuss your situation and your limitations, and they're going to help you understand how to communicate those, like what your theory is that you want to be communicating when you go to the doctors. So if you're going through the approval process, they'll do that piece, then they'll put you into our disability approval course so that you understand what you need to say and do, fill out the forms, go to the doctors, all the other stuff that's involved in the process um, to get your disability benefits approved. So those are a few of the things that we can help you with. We offer 24/7 support in addition to the live support groups, live events, all of this to help you get approved and stay approved. And there's no cost for it. Now, if you don't want to pursue your benefits on your own and you want to, seek representation, then that's a whole different option. That's a situation where Social Security has a fee structure that we use, and there's no way around that. So that's something you would have to pay for if your benefits get approved. But the course, thousands have used it on their own. Maybe you already have a representative that you're using. It's totally fine. You come in, you go through the process and use the course to make sure your representative is following along and doing what they need to do so you can get what you deserve. So I hope you find this helpful. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Last thing again is thank you so much for your service. And I look forward to having the opportunity to help you get approved and stay approved. Make it a great day.